Hello guys and welcome back to the Submission Addiction. In today's video I will be giving my predictions for the UFC Fight Night card, Song going up against Davison Figueiredo. And let's get into it. I'm only gonna be doing the main card because I can't be bothered predicting these fights. I mean, come on. First up we have Alex Perez going up against Sumo Darji. I still don't know how to pronounce his name. And I don't know why these pictures won't come up. Doesn't matter. Alex Perez, he's kind of stuck in my opinion. And so is Sumo Darji, to be honest. Alex Perez a bit of a one-trick pony, I think. To make this short, I believe that Alex Perez will go out and get the knockout here. Sumo Darji is kind of he's in a weird place right now. It seems to be the case with Sumo Darji that every time he meets a guy of a bit of a higher level, yeah, let's just do this. All right, every time he meets a guy that's actually is somewhat good, he loses. He lost to Tim Elliott. He lost to another guy. Whereas Alex Perez, it's kind of the same thing. However, he is just, his ceiling, the level of opponent that he beats is higher than Sumo Darji, in my opinion. Like, I know that he wasn't as good as we all thought he was going to be, but he beat Mateus Nicolau. He beat some other guys. Sorry, I just couldn't be bothered, researching to this fight card because it sucks a bit, but it's actually decent. I'll take that back. It's actually decent, but I can't be bothered researching too much into this. All right, my prediction is Alex Perez by KO or by decision. As we get on to, I don't know why these pictures won't come up here. We'll just do it this way then. We have Muslim Salikov against Jake Matthews. Muslim Salikov, he's about to turn 42 next month. And even though he got he just got one of his spinning back wheel kick, some shit. I can't remember his name, but that was actually really impressive. Jake Matthews, he went on a bit of a streak recently, lost to Neil Magny by submission, I believe it was, which kind of like ruined his streak a bit. However, there's a difference between being 31 and being almost 42 years old, and I mean, look at him, he looks like he's 70. So for all I know, this guy is at least 65 years old, right? And Jake Matthews is 31. Jake Matthews has been in the UFC for a very long time, since 2014, so he is, even though he's still quite young, he has a ton of UFC experience, and it also seems to me that he has hit that ceiling where he doesn't break into the top 15, but will always be a kind of like stepping stone. Of course, he won't be a stepping stone for Muslim Salikov, because Muslim Salikov is also a well-known name and is also somewhat of a stepping stone for young prospects. But this fight, I think it will go the distance, and I think that Jake Matthews will get the dub here. Probably a 30-27, to be honest. Muslim Salikov's cardio isn't looking too good these days. He could land the spinning back kick or whatever it's called on Jake Matthews, but yeah, I'll predict the Jake Matthews, classic decision win here. As we move on to Kai Asakura against Cameron Smotherman. And this one is a really interesting one, because so far in his UFC career, Kai Asakura has only lost. And Cameron Smotherman is not a high-level bantamweight. And the other interesting about this fight is Kai Asakura is of course, he's moving up to bantamweight. He fought 2 times before in the UFC. He lost them both by submission in the second round to Alejandro Pantoja and to Tim Elliott. Cameron Smotherman, not one of the good bantamweights out there. Bantamweight is a stacked division. Cameron Smotherman is not one of the fighters that is making the bantamweight division stacked, let me tell you that. The question is though, where, just at what level is Kai Sakura's skills, right? We don't actually know. He had a pretty good career in Ryzen, but he wasn't like undefeated or anything. He had a pretty good career in Ryzen. Came over to the UFC, got the title shot immediately, which was super weird. He lost by submission in the second round to Alejandro Pantoja. There's no shame in that, Everybody does that. Kai Kara France lost by submission. Just for taking an example, right? And Kai Kara France is a good fighter in himself. But then Kai Sakura goes out there and loses to Tim Elliott by the submission in the second round as well. And Tim Elliott was like 38, 37 years old in that fight. Whereas Kai Sakura is in his prime. He is 31, 32 years old. Cameron Smotherman, and now he's moving up, which could be to his benefit. We have seen like the lighter man skill before, working really well, even though he lost the fight. Volkanovski, when he moved up to fight Islam Makhachev, he did really well. Of course, Khamzat Chimaev, when he moved from welterweight to middleweight, he did really well, and now it'll be exciting to see how well he does in the light heavyweight division. My point is, Kai Sakura could benefit from moving up, and Cameron Smotherman is a much, much, much lower competition than the likes of Alejandro Pantoja and even Tim Elliott. This is still a weird fight. Kai Sakura on a 2-fight losing skid in the UFC. Cameron Smotherman on a 2-fight losing skid in the UFC. If Kai Sakura loses this fight, I think that he will be cut from the UFC entirely. I think he is being paid like pretty good for UFC standards. And why would they want to keep him and pay him that much money if he loses to guys like Cameron Smotherman, right? Cameron Smotherman is himself on a 2-fight losing skid. He could be looking at, this could be his way out also. So it'll be interesting. I think these guys will be fighting for their careers, to be honest. I have Kai Sakura winning this, but not with very much confidence. Let me tell you that. I don't think that this will be a really good performance. I don't think this will be an impressive performance. I think if Kai Sakura wins this fight, it will be, it'll probably be a decision. Maybe he gets the KO against Cameron Smotherman. I hope for him he does, because that would bring some excitement back to Kai Sakura's name, right? And I think he needs it. Anyways, moving on to Sergey Pavlovich against Talison Teixeira. And this is a pretty weird fight. The fact that Talison Teixeira has gotten a fight for the number 3 spot, a top 5 fight, is pretty weird. He came to the UFC, knocked out, I think it was Justin Tafa. Really impressive. I thought that he would be an absolute menace in the heavyweight division. Got knocked out against Derek Lewis. Alright. Then he just won against, I can't remember for the life of me who it was. But it was a really lackluster performance from Talison Teixeira. He didn't have any cardio at all, and so did his opponent. I can't remember for the life of me what the name of his opponent was, but it was a really, really severely underwhelming and lackluster performance from Talison Teixeira. So to see him get this bump up is pretty unexpected, to be honest. But let's just break this fight down. Talison Teixeira is a much taller dude. Sergey Pavlovich, he I'm not gonna talk too much about this fight. Sergey Pavlovich should go out and win this fight pretty comfortably. Even though he's not the same after facing Tom Aspinall and being knocked out by Tom Aspinall, he's still, I get that he lost to Volkov and all of that, but he still has the experience. We know that he at least has some cardio. He has been going 3 rounds. So has Talison Teixeira, and he completely gassed. He completely gassed already in the first round. So based off of that, I'm going Sergey Pavlovich. Also, Talison Teixeira was knocked out by Derrick Lewis. I get that it was somewhat of a sketchy stoppage, but Sergey Pavlovich also has that power. I know that he hasn't been showcasing it recently, but he still has it, and I think that it will be enough to get the win against Talison Teixeira. And I think that this will be the fight that gets Sergey Pavlovich his confidence back. I think that he will get the knockout against Talison Teixeira. And then we move on to the co-main event of the evening. We have Xiangming Yang going up against Alonzo Menifield. Alonzo Menifield, 38 years old, pretty old, slow. I think he's been looking, and he's been at the number 15 spot for I think several years by now. He is in a weird place. Xiangming Yang got to the UFC, got 4 KOs in a row, I believe. Lost to Johnny Walker. That wasn't so good for his hype. Let's just say that. But I think that this will be another fight. Alonzo Menifield, he throws more punches than he throws kicks, which is good for Xiangming Yang because he is young. He is a lot faster. He's more than 10 years younger than Alonzo Menifield. He is a lot faster. He is a lot more athletic. He has more power. And this fight, this is probably the fight I'm most confident in picking Xiangming Yang. This fight in the main event, which we will get to right now. We have Song Yadong and Davison Figueiredo. It's pretty interesting to see Davison Figueiredo, keep getting these top 5 opponents. Because Davison Figueiredo is on a decline. He is really on a decline. And I think it's obvious for everyone to see. So, I don't really understand why they're doing this. I think Davison Figueiredo should retire right while his record is solid, right? I think he loses this one pretty badly. I could see Song Yadong knocking him out in the later rounds. I get that Davison Figueiredo is super, super tough. Song Yadong, his ground game is not at the same level as Davison Figueiredo, but Davison Figueiredo is getting old, man. He is getting old. He can't keep up the pace. He has great power. He had great cardio. He's a great fighter, but he is getting old, and especially in these lighter weight classes, when you hit that 35, 36, 37 years old, you will hit that decline no matter what. And Davison Figueiredo has been on the decline for a bit of time now. I really think that this will be the fight that this will be the last top fight for Davison Figueiredo that has meaning in the bantamweight division. I think Davison Figueiredo loses this, and I hope that he retires because I really like Davison Figueiredo. I think he's great to watch. I think he's a great fighter. I was just about to say one of the best of all time. He's in the top 30 of all time, maybe top 25 of all time. He's a great fighter, but he should hang it up if he loses this, and I just think he will. Even if he wins, he won't get the title shot because it will probably be like a fluke KO. Song Yadong, he needs to win, man. If he loses this, his career is also like, well, what do we do with him next? Song Yadong, he's a great fighter, but he needs to get on a bit of a win streak to be on a roll before we can get him the title shot. And Song Yadong he's a bit he's not a win one, lose one fighter. He's a bit like win 2 or win 3 and then lose one to a top guy like Peter Yan. I believe he lost to Peter Yan in his last outing. But Peter Yan, he's better than Davison Figueiredo. He is a lot younger, and he is, he's in his prime. And look what he did to Marab. Peter Yan is a phenomenal fighter. He's one of the all-time greats. And Davison Figueiredo, out of his prime, I cannot see him win this fight. So there you have it, guys. That was my predictions for UFC Fight Night. Song Yadong against Davison Figueiredo. Remember to subscribe to the Submission Addiction, like the video, comment down below who you think will win between Song and Figueiredo, or just, of all the fights on the main card. And I will see you guys soon.